Hi, I'm Serena, and this is my co-host, Mike, and you're listening to Diapers and Deployments, Who's Got It Worse? The podcast that talks about all things military, the good, the bad, and the oh shit.
On today's show, we talk about the result of a golf ball meeting a Tesla, the ongoing struggles of household good moves, and why you may want to consider joining the Peace Corps.
This podcast is supported by Skill Mill Corporation, helping veterans transition to the civilian workspace.
Hi, Serena.
Hi.
Hey, just for the audience, we were supposed to do this last night, but Serena was at another party. I feel like since she's moved to Kansas, like there's been a party, not just on the weekends, Serena, but I feel like, you've been in the barn a lot.
I know. It's like a thing every day, it feels like. But in a good way. It's always stuff that I missed out on being gone. And now that I'm back, it's something, that's things are always happening. And I'm glad I get to be a part of everything, but I'm exhausted. You can tell I know I'm losing my voice. I'm exhausted on top of working full time. Yeah, I haven't done that in a long time. And then trying to, we're not living in our new house. We're living at my parents' house still, but we're at our new house every night. So it's a lot of back and forth, and it's late nights and then paired with barn parties.
Oh, I forgot about the not living there, but being there kind of thing. I guess that's kind of weird. So you probably got another 45 days, right?
No. Okay. So good news. On Friday, I got a phone call from Gypso, and they said that somebody had picked up the bid to move our stuff. And I was like, sweet.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And then Saturday, I got an email from that company, and they said that they were going to be picking up the stuff on August 11th, and it would be there no later than August 25th. And I was like, all right, sweet. But I know that it's like a truck line is picking it up on August 11th, and they have to hire movers to move it onto their truck. And then they have to drive it to Kansas, and then they have to find movers in Kansas, right?
Well, you can just go down to Home Depot, pick up some movers, and come on to your house. Tell them, why stop?
What's funny is that I called to find out what the holdup was with everything. And they said, not only is it the 6 to 7 months that they put a hold on PCSs that they were trying to, finish out. Also, Brandon's not on active duty orders. So He gets pushed to the bottom, which I totally understand and respect that.
Yeah, I understand.
But the big one was they don't have any employees.
Oh, I wonder why. Everybody's getting that free money.
Yeah, everybody's sitting at home collecting money without having to work. So, and they flat out said it. That was one of the biggest problems. And I'm like, I don't believe it. I mean,
It's true. Down here, it's the same way.
I don't deny that. So anyway, today at work, I got a phone call, and it was the trucking company. And they said the stuff is absolutely for sure getting picked up on the 11th. And they would call me that evening to let me know that everything got picked up. And then they would call me every day to alert me with what was going on. So I'm super impressed so far.
Awesome.
This is the last of our move journey, I guess. And so I hope it works out great. I mean, I'm kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop, but hopefully it all works out.
So for those military folks out there, here's what they want in this arena. After your stuff gets to your house for the final time and you're not in the military anymore, how many of those little stickers are still going to be on your furniture?
So I saw this really cool thing, and it was from Modern Day Rosie, and she has a tumbler cup, and she has all the moving stickers on it. And then it's sealed. So all those little colorful moving stickers. Yeah. And I was like, that is the coolest thing, but I've been collecting mine. So I might try to do it myself and just put them inside. Tumbler. Yeah. Cause they make those tumblers that you can open up and put stuff inside. I might do that. I thought it was a really cool thing.
I don't want to be reminded of all the moves.
I found the very first color of sticker that we ever had on our first PCS. So back in 2006, it's like this creamy yellow color. I mean, who knows what color it was back then,
right,
but
white.
It's it's not a color I've ever seen, not a color that we've ever had before, in the past, the other 8 moves. So I saved it, and because I was like, this is gold. And I've seen people make them out of ornaments and stuff like
you're way more creative than me. I just tell my kids, here's a dime for everyone you scrape off, throw them in the garbage and move on. So let me tell a quick story. Mm-hmm. So car prices right now are absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, used car prices are through the roof. And I decided, hey, I don't need my truck because I got a Ford Bronco ordered.
I'm so jealous.
My Ford Bronco is being built this week.
Oh my gosh. I'm so excited to see
So I'm going to get it. I'm going to be one of the first to get it. They started delivering them now. Red.
Dang.
Yes.
That's sure.
So I was like, well, let me 4 or 5 months ago, I got the price of my truck and I was like, I don't want to trade it in yet. Let's see how long the Bronco is going to take. And then I got the email saying that it's on, it's going to be built. So I'm like, oh, how much is my truck worth? 4 months ago to the day I sold my truck last week, $10,000 more, Serena. I got paid more for my truck. I've driven it for 2 years. It had 49,000 miles on it. They paid me more than I paid for it. And, I looked at these car prices. I'm like, there's no way it's true, but it's true. So we're like, we can do with one car for 6 or 7 weeks, right? No problem.
Yeah.
The very next day, my wife's car is in the driveway, our one car, right? And the top of it gets hit with a golf ball, which normally wouldn't be a big problem. She has a Tesla with a glass roof. Guess what happened?
It shattered.
Yeah. So our car is in the shop now. We have a rental car, and Regina's like, way to go down to one car.
Holy moly.
I'm like, just my luck, right?
Yeah. I didn't know you lived on a golf course.
Yeah. Well, it's a public course. I don't have enough money for a private course.
Yeah, but I mean, you live close enough that you got your car smashed by a golf ball. That's
my
crazy.
God. Yeah, I found them in my driveway and stuff, but they've never really hit my car until the day after I sold my truck.
That sucks.
Hey, but if you have a used car out there and you can go down to one car, now's the time to sell.
Well, I mean, now, just like people with houses. I mean, I don't know. Have you heard that the housing thing is going down? Is it going down where you are?
It's still a seller's market. Still.
Yeah.
And then,
I mean, I haven't paid attention. I closed all those apps on my phone. I deleted everything because I don't want to see another house listing for as long as I live.
Before we bring on the guest, I think we need to talk about Skill Mill a little bit, Serena. So some exciting things are happening.
Yeah. Tell me what's going on your end. You're doing a lot of things.
Well, and I know you're not involved in this, but August 1st, Skill Mill Family of Services, we launched telehealth for veterans.
That is so cool. Tell me about it.
Well, so I wished I had the marketing material ready to go, so we speak, as this airs. But it's a way for veterans and their family members. Think about this: you and your whole family, and you define your family. Here's the greatest part when we designed this: if your mother lives with you, she's your family. If your cousin lives with you, you define your family. Because a lot of times your family is not your typical mom, dad, brother, sister, right? You define your family. You and up to 7 people in your family.
Wow.
Get telehealth access for $19.95.
Wow. That's so cool. So when you say telehealth access, that means that you can you pick who you're talking to, or there's you log on to something and there's providers there available? So
you log on, you get your appointment. There's providers available. We'll have information on our website by the time this airs. People can go in there and click around and get all the details. But I'm a little premature, but I just wanted to get it out there because it's coming. We're excited. We've been working on this for 8 months. And it's finally here. And there's a lot of veterans. People think if you get out of the military, you have healthcare. That is actually not true, right?
No.
If you're retired, you have healthcare. But for me, I'm getting it because even though I have TRICARE, I'm tired of getting in my car and going to the doctor all the time. And it's $20 every time you go for a copay anyway, or 30. If I'm sitting at home, I can jump on telehealth. If I just have a runny nose, 75% of the things that people go to the doctor for, you do not need to go into a doctor's office. You jump online, they tell you, hey, go pick up your medicine at Walmart or Walgreens, or it depends on where you get your medicine. They may even mail it to you. You don't have to leave your house. So for me,
these, you can get prescriptions and things like that, an antibiotic or whatever. Wow. That's really cool.
So Skill Mill Family of Services has been a dream. It has been a dream of ours for a long time. And finally, it's on the way, Serena.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad that Skill Mill is out there helping people in more ways than just finding work, helping them health-wise now too.
Well, we have a long interview with the Peace Corps that we want to get on the air. We normally talk for longer, but this time we're going to cut it a little short because I feel like we need to air the whole thing. What about you?
I agree.
Yeah, because it was a great interview. And I will say that that's Bronco that I'm getting, though. I signed up for what's called the Bronco Off Rodeo, and we'll talk about that next week. I'm going to let Serena introduce the Peace Corps. And here's why, because the names are tricky and I'm from West Virginia. So Serena.
Okay. So today, yes, the Peace Corps, we have with us Taylor Maher, the regional recruiter of South Florida. And then we have Tameen Chowdhury, who's the public affairs specialist. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Well, hey, I'm going to jump right into it. So a lot of people don't know much about the Peace Corps. Me and Serena talked about this. We're like, we've always heard of it. And in my mind, I think of some 16-year-old kid who's like, I'm pissed off at my parents. You know what? I'm joining the Peace Corps. What about you, Serena?
Yeah. I mean, I did go to a school that they in high school where they promoted it a lot. I don't know anybody that went, at least nobody in my circle of people. So I know nothing about it, and I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say.
Oh, so Taylor, start us off. Tell us a little bit about yourself and then about the Peace Corps.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for having us. So happy to be here. Again, yeah, my name is Taylor Maher. I am originally from the suburbs of Chicago. I went to the University of Iowa, graduated December 2017. And then in February of 2018, I did go off to Guatemala, and I was an agriculture volunteer there until March of 2020. I was evacuated out due to the coronavirus pandemic, along with about 7,000 other volunteers worldwide. So we all came back around the same time, as the pandemic happened and everything was getting shut down. And then I used non-competitive eligibility, which all returned volunteers get. And it gives you like higher standing or higher status when you're applying to government jobs. So I used that to get a position with the Forest Service out in Idaho. So I was there for about 2 months, and then my time there ended on Labor Day last year. And I just kept applying for government positions. And I got this position with the Peace Corps in Miami, South Florida. And I said, wow, what better way to get to know a city? I've never lived or been to Miami before. And I just thought it would be a great adventure and a great way to work for an agency that I really love. So Peace Corps is a government agency of volunteers. We go mainly developing countries abroad, and we work with community members there on development projects. We have 6 work sectors: agriculture, environment, health, youth and development, community economic development. So we're mainly paired up with work partners. We're mainly trainers, co-facilitators, and mentors. It's a 27-month commitment. You go through about 3 months of pre-service training, and that's where you learn all about different adult learning methodologies and different techniques to help with effective knowledge transfer from the people, from your community members or from your work partners onto those that want to learn more in the community. You can also write grants and apply for grants with your work partners or with other community members to do projects in your community. It could be what I've seen, what I've done, actually also like fruit tree projects, training projects, water capturement projects, hygiene and sanitation, things like that. So it's a great opportunity to use your skills, whether you are, a fresh undergrad like I was when I went out, or, later in life and you've had a full life of experiences. We do not have an age cap to serving as a volunteer. You just have to be 18 or older and a U.S. citizen. And we, like I said, no age cap. Our oldest volunteer to date was 82 years old. So,
gosh.
Yeah. And we have some, working with the FEMA Corps right now that are in their 80s here domestically on a COVID project. So yeah, no age cap. Later in life, you're retired. Definitely check it out.
I have so many questions, Serena.
Well, I just know a lot of you guys. Sorry about that.
I was going to ask about the age requirement because I remember people coming to the school when I was in high school talking about, so that's why I was wondering about the age requirement, but 18, you said it there. Then you also said that some people are stateside. I always thought it was foreign. Like I thought everybody left and went abroad, but is that not the case? You can stay local?
So there's only been 2 times in our history, and this is the second time that we've helped out domestically. Okay. The other time was with Hurricane Katrina, and it's really when there's, some type of big project or something big in the community or in our nation or worldwide that we want to help out with. And, with the evacuated volunteers last year and FEMA realizing that they wanted to have this COVID campaign, FEMA and Peace Corps worked together and partnered together to help out. So we are in 5 states here in the United States working on this COVID campaign and helping, educate people about the vaccine and even helping get distribution to people that want to get vaccinated.
So right now, the Peace Corps is not overseas at all. Is that what you're saying? Like everyone's back?
Yes, exactly. And so we're helping stateside instead. And hopefully by 2022, we will be sending volunteers back out internationally into the countries that we typically work with.
So if I'm 18 years old or 22 and I graduated from college and I'm going to go volunteer, how do I eat? Like, do I get money? It's all volunteer. Like,
yeah. Where do you eat? Where do you sleep? How does all that?
Great questions. Yeah. So yes, you do get a living stipend as a Peace Corps volunteer. So that covers your housing costs, food, water, transportation, miscellaneous items. When you first move into your permanent community where you'll be living, you do get like a moving in allowance. So enough to buy, if you need to get furniture or pots and pans, everything that you need, to live comfortably. Right. And depending on the country that you're in, you can be like paired up with a host family. So for me in Guatemala, I did live with host families and it was a great experience. I loved that. And yeah, that living stipend was enough money to pay like my rent for my host family. But if you don't get a host family, there's other countries where you just get your own house, like mini little house or apartment. You can opt in and get a host family if you want to.
I think that would be the better way to go. I like living with a family who knows the area and treats you like family, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I would assume that also they put you with someone where there's not like a really intense language barrier as well, I would assume. Maybe not.
Not necessarily. During training, that's definitely the case. For me, in my experience, I felt like my family, they seemed like they were more vetted and they like Peace Corps talked with them like, okay, this person is coming in with either like a low Spanish language level or like they're whatever. And then once I was there with them, I could tell like when they spoke to me, it was like very slow Spanish, and like they really enunciated. And I picked up pretty quick, which was fun. But then when they talked amongst each other, it was like super fast Spanish and I'm like trying to understand. And, by the end of it, I was listening more and more to their conversations and like jumping in because I got more confident with it. But then in my first community where I lived, it was a very conservative, traditional town up at 10,000 feet. A lot of Guatemalans named it Alaska because it was pretty chilly up there. And that town was 99% Mayan Quiche. In Guatemala, there's over 20 different indigenous Mayan languages and cultures. And so that first community, I was immersed in one of them, Quiche. And that family that I lived with, Spanish was their second language also. So their first language was the indigenous Quiche language. So I was kind of in for a shock. It's been like the first few months for sure. Like I was, I felt confident and ready to use my Spanish. And then I get in there and I'm like, what are you saying? I don't understand anything. And so I just had to sit back and listen a lot and observe. And I think that taught me a lot about being a good listener and like just being like present in the moment and not always having to, put my 2 cents in or having to speak necessarily, but it was also a great opportunity for me to learn, yet another language and to learn their culture and their customs.
That's cool. So with, the military, when you enlist, you leave your family behind and you enlist in the military and get shipped off to, wherever your duty station may be. You said you joined right after college. So I'm assuming you left your family behind. Or do families ever go with the volunteer for the Peace Corps? And if they don't, do you get opportunities to travel home and visit family? Like, how does that work?
So the only possibility, like family-wise, that we have to serve as volunteers, you can serve as a couple. So if you and your spouse apply, you can apply together. You will have separate applications and separate interviews, obviously, but you can get in together and serve in the same country, the same community. You just cannot serve in the same project. So it'd be like one person in the agriculture project, one person in the health project, for example. But, if you have children or an extended family, as far as I know, that is not allowed. But the couples, yes, is fine.
So couples with no children then?
Yeah. Or retired older couples that have, adult children and they're on their own.
Sure.
How often could you come back though? Like, if you're retired and you have children in the States, how often do they allow you to come back?
That's up to your discretion, as long as, there isn't a training coming up during Peace Corps. Like I said, you got that 3 months pre-service training, and then you have 2 months in your site, and then you go back for about a 2-week or 1 week training. And then you're out in your site, you're working, doing your thing. And then you have a mid-service, multiple little trainings, either with your project or with Peace Corps as a whole. So as long as you take, you have to submit vacation days, and you get approval from your supervisor and you have enough resources and funds to buy your plane tickets home, then you can do that.
Well, it sounds like that'd be like, especially for a retired couple, that would be like amazing. You get to go help foreign land service. It all sounds amazing. So I have a security type question. So how would you make someone feel at ease? Like, I have 2 daughters and one comes to me and says, Dad, I really want to join the Peace Corps and go to some foreign land, right, for 27 months that has to be a shock to parents, especially that they don't know much about the Peace Corps.
Usually what I mention, a lot of people do talk to me about, safety and security concerns. And they say, like, what can I say to my mom or my dad or my family to make them, like you said, like feel at ease?
Right.
And the Peace Corps has a great safety and security office that is working with the Peace Corps volunteers the entire time that they're in service. There's an emergency line. Everyone does get a Peace Corps cell phone and a Peace Corps like chip. If you want to put your chip in a different phone, that's fine. But the hotline is available 24/7. There's also a medical team that is available at 24/7 for any emergencies. And Peace Corps in general, like as a cohort of volunteers, when you come in, you make really long-lasting and strong connections with those in your cohort. So I felt like I had a lot of support just within my cohort and like reaching out to my fellow volunteers. And if there's ever like something sketchy or weird or, I could reach out to them and they would help me, they would support me. And then if it was, something big, I needed to reach the Peace Corps office, obviously just reach out to them and explain the situation. And they're always willing to help out.
So it sounds like there was never really any safety concerns. Like the Peace Corps got your back, so to speak. They put you in a great place. You had a host family and you got to do a lot of great volunteer work. And when you came back, it sounds like you had some hiring preferences.
Yeah.
So they take care of you in the beginning and the end. What about someone who's never, joined the Peace Corps, been over? You guys have jobs that people could apply for that have not been part of the Peace Corps.
Yeah, there are positions available. They're listed on usajobs.gov, just like all government jobs. But it definitely is a lot easier to get that position after having a Peace Corps volunteer experience, or, like AmeriCorps or the other service organizations that are available that give you that experience and that worldly view. And, just the experience of civic engagement, community involvement, things like that will definitely help, your resume, but also just yourself as a person to grow development professionally.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And one more question for me, and then I'll let Serena ask is veterans. So do you see a lot of veterans joining the Peace Corps?
Me personally, I have not seen a lot, but I did, going through the Peace Corps website a bit, I read a few stories today. There was a woman explaining her life, really. Actually, she was in the Air Force and then did 3 Peace Corps services, which I think is amazing. And I've met a few. The president of the Return Peace Corps Volunteers of South Florida, he was in the military and did a Peace Corps service as well. And at the time that one of the articles was written, there were about 80 veterans serving as volunteers. So at one given time, I think between 80 to 100 volunteers are serving. And, within the whole time that Peace Corps has been around since 1961, we've had, thousands of veterans serve as volunteers. But me personally, I don't know that many, to be honest.
Right. Well, I just know veterans have a career, a history of service, of course, through the military, but lots and lots of volunteer work. And like I said, I never knew about the Peace Corps, so it never would have crossed my mind. So hopefully our listeners, as they hear this, think, man, this is another way to give back.
For sure.
So, Serena?
You said you do it for 27 months. And so the 23 months of training and 24 months is your volunteer service. When that 24 months is over, do you have to kind of go through the process again and find a new sector to volunteer for? Or can you stay at the same position? And how does that work?
Sure. Yeah. So at the end of service, we come back for, it's called close of service training, COS training. A lot, like I said, lots of trainings in Peace Corps. We love it. It's about, I don't remember, either a month or 2 months before like your actual date of completion. And you go through all of the options that you have as, you come upon becoming that returned Peace Corps volunteer. So if you do want to continue with service, you can reapply to another country. You would just go through the same process as you did before, like when you were applying for the original Peace Corps service. There's also an option to stay in your country and do an extension. I was actually interested in doing this in Guatemala before we were evacuated. You could do a year-long extension and either stay in your community and work on, finish a project or start a new project with that community. Or you can move closer to the Peace Corps office, their post in that country, and pick up a position that they may have available. For example, there's a Peace Corps volunteer leadership position in Guatemala that I was interested in doing. And I would just pretty much work in the office and work alongside the staff members there with trainings and bringing in new volunteers and helping them understand the expectations of being a volunteer and things like that. You can even apply to be a Peace Corps response volunteer. This is pretty much a more specific project-based position with the Peace Corps. And it's typically shorter as well, either 3 to 12 months.
Oh, okay. And, now we're talking.
Yeah. And typically it's more competitive. So it's easier for either a returned Peace Corps volunteer to get the position or someone with a lot of experience. So if someone had a full career or, is a veteran and has this experience, they could possibly get that response position.
Or like a doctor, with a specific skill set to jump on a project. Okay.
I feel like I would get attached to if I had a host family and then I wouldn't want to leave and go somewhere else and I'd want to stay. And, I would assume that's easy to do, especially if they have young kids and, I would be a sucker and want to stay.
I found out that I'm a sucker. I want to stay.
Well, it all sounds amazing. And so for our listeners, just tell us how they get involved, like the website.
Yes. So definitely go to the peacecorps.gov website and, browse around a bit, read about what we are, who we are. Some articles are in there and they're really good. And you can see different projects that have happened or read about the veterans that have served. Definitely go to connect with your recruiter and you can type in your either zip code or type in a university that's near you. And then it will populate the recruiter that is in your area. And it gives you their email address and their phone number, and you can reach out directly to them. And I am the South Florida recruiter. So if anyone put in, like a South Florida zip code, then my information would pop up.
Amazing. Well, I don't know about Serena, but every show we learn something, we say that. And this was another amazing interview. Thank you for coming on. I thank you both so much, Serena. Yeah,
I appreciate learning about all these things. I mean, I have young children myself, one getting ready to go off to high school. It seems like it's far away, but it's not. And I like to hear about I know. I like to hear about all these opportunities that they have to do good, make them a better person and, do something meaningful in their lives. And, it's just something I've never learned about. I took the other route, the academic route, and then the professional route, and then the military with my spouse. So
I was going to say, it sounds like we could still do this.
You can.
It does. Yes, it does. But I have 2 small children at home, so I would hate to lose them.
Right. You just got to wait a little bit longer. They're going to go be Peace Corps volunteers, and then you're going to go be a Peace Corps volunteer. Mike's going to get out there.
Yeah, let's do it.
That'd be something. Brandon did 20 years leaving all the time. And then finally when he's home, I'm like, peace out.
Peace out. I'm going to the Peace Corps, Brandon. See you in 26 months.
Or you and Brandon can go together.
Yeah, we could. Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good idea, Serena.
I don't know.
All right. Hey, well, thank you. Thank you so much. And I look forward to hearing more about the Peace Corps.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having us. Happy to be here. Thank you.
Well, Serena, another show and more knowledge.
More knowledge. They were so fun to talk to. Taylor sounds like she had a great experience doing what she did for the Peace Corps out in the field in Guatemala.
I know. And, knowing nothing about the Peace Corps, that was really good for me. All the great work they do and knowing that, you can volunteer at 82 years old. I mean, they my gosh.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about all that, but that's really nice. That's really nice that they allow that there's no age limit. I don't think it's very nice when they tell somebody, hey, at 60, 70, whatever, you can't do this anymore, because there's a place for everybody to do something, in my opinion.
And her story is amazing. And it sounds like she has had, a great experience with the Peace Corps and she's still working with them. So, if you're out there and you're thinking about the Peace Corps, just go to the website, visit it. And, if you're retired now and you've served your, in the military and your kids are gone, maybe you and your spouse, go do a mission.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's something to be said, if you served your time in the military and then now you want to, I know you gave a lot when you serve in the military, but if you want to give in another way, maybe a more, you're seeing what you're doing right there. I know she said she worked in agriculture. I would assume there's a lot of reward, watching what you're doing, unfold. So might be a different option if you're, that type of person and want to continue giving your time.
So Serena, maybe me and you just volunteer No, I'm ready to go fishing instead.
Yeah.
But hey,
I need a minute of no volunteering in the sense that Brandon volunteered his last 20 years of life. I need a second to sit down and be a family of 4 for a while.
You still have kids at home and we're still working, but that is always going to be in the back of my mind now as I, exit the work life forever and think, man, maybe there is more that I can do. So man, what a great interview. So I hope that we get to talk to them again.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe there's something we can think about talking to them about. I'd like to know if she ever goes back, because I know now she's working stateside.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So that'd be something.
One thing we didn't cover is you do have to go through a background check. I mean, we talked about that off the air a little bit, but don't think you can just sign up and go. But most of the people listening to this show have done a background check anyway. So it's all right. Well, Serena, are you drinking something like fruity again this week? Or
I am drinking something fruity. However, it's an IPA.
Oh, so, I like IPAs. Now we're talking.
Now, do you want to guess where it's from?
Boulevard.
Yes.
Your new favorite place. You still haven't talked to them.
Hey, I did email and I haven't heard anything back. So they might just be like, this crazy local chick. Okay. So it's an IPA and it's called, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Drum roll. It's called Pint-Sized Hawaiian Pizza Party Tiki IPA.
Jesus, that's a long mouthful of words.
Yeah. So it's got like pineapple and mango and vanilla in it. So it's like, because I'm not a huge IPA drinker, but with all these other flavors in it, it's almost like a fruity beer. Like it's hard to explain because you get like that IPA flavor, but it's not overpowering like just an IPA.
So you said IPA and that sounded good. And then you started mentioning all those flavors and all of a sudden, I don't know.
Let me tell you, when we have breakfast for dinner, it tastes really good. It's like a different version of a mimosa.
Oh, we had mimosas over the weekend. $1 a piece. It was a great weekend.
Ooh, I was with Tyler this weekend. You know Tyler.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, you had a better weekend than me.
Our guests know Tyler because he drove with me cross country, my best friend. And we had a pitcher of margaritas. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, God. Mm-hmm. Well, you know me, and I can't do margaritas, but I'm drinking Redemption. You know what? It's from Indiana. It's my new favorite bourbon. I have the Redemption. I have the rye. I have the high rye. I don't know that I've had anything better.
Oh, well, that's good. That's something I haven't heard you say that.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, and then I went to Wisconsin and they had a Total Wine and More. So, of course I had to get more than one bottle. It was cheap, but hey.
That place is the best. We don't have one of those here in Kansas
We
City.
need one here too. Oh, I'm supposed to tell you guys to drink responsibly.
Please drink responsibly.
Don't be like Serena.
Hey, I can walk home from the barn.
Oh, okay. That's true. Be like Serena.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Diapers and Deployments, brought to you by Skill Mill.
Go to skillmill.com to check out our blog and create an account. You can also find us on social media. Let us help you find your next career.
Don't forget, that's skill with 2 L's and mill with 1.
Until next time.
Ciao.